All right, so in this video, I'm going to go over this particular FRQ. This is from 2019, and this was question number 8. All right, so this one's not too terrible, and let's kind of break it down and see what specific content we needed, how we would tackle this. I think I've given you this one in class prior. So let's just take a second and read through and see how we would approach this one. So first and foremost, it's telling us this is talking about a Mexican morning glory flower. It changes from red to blue, and the petals swell during flower opening. It says that the pigment heavenly blue anthocyan is found in the vacuole of petal cells. Petal color is determined by the pH of the vacuole. So it looks like it's going to be something dealing with pH. A model of a morning glory petal before and after is shown in table 1. So let's take a look at this diagram and see what we can make sense. So here's the vacuole, and it looks to me, this is showing the vacuole has looks like a couple of protons here, and as it progresses, it looks like there's protons that move out, so the H plus ions move out, and it looks like there gets to be a buildup of these K plus ions, or these potassium ions. So definitely looks like potassium is moving in, and the hydrogen ions, or the protons, are moving out. What else is it showing us? So it tells us the vacuole pH initially is at 6.6. It gets increased up to 7.7. The flower color was red, it changes to blue, the cell volume is small, and then it goes to large. So for this one, it looks like actually one of the questions gets cut off on my picture. We'll add it to it though. So it says for part A, identify the cellular component in the model that is responsible for the increase in pH of the vacuole during flower opening, and describe the component's role in changing the pH of the vacuole. So this is going to be a 2-point right here. So let's try to figure this one out. So it's specifically asking what part of this model is going to be responsible for the increase in pH. All right. So what you needed to know for this one is if you increase the H plus ions, you're actually going to be lowering the pH. And vice versa, or if you decrease the H plus, the concentration of them, you're actually going to be increasing the pH, all right? So if you look back to this model, it looks like the pH is going from a 6.6 up to a 7.7. So really what you're looking at is it looks like the protons have left, so the H plus ions are leaving. So that's what your content needed. And it looks like this is what we're looking at. We're lowering the H plus ions, which is going to increase the pH. So now we just got to figure out, well, what's actually allowing that to happen. So I'm just going to erase this a little bit to clean it up. So looking at the model, it's not anything that I think is too crazy. You just got to see, okay, of these, what's allowing protons to move out, essentially. So we got a potassium channel, and then we got the potassium and hydrogen ion transport protein. So the component that is going to allow this to happen, you had to state that it's got to be the potassium / H plus transport protein. So that's what you had to state. So according to the rubric that I have in front of me, yeah, that's the identification. If you say that, that's going to get you 1 point. The describe the component's role in changing the pH of the vacuole. Basically, you just have to state for this one, yeah, so it's basically wanting you to explain what happens to the pH. Yeah, I apologize for that delay. So it's just basically stating that as you decrease the H plus ions, the pH is going to go up. So if you have something along the lines of that description, that would get you the 1 point. So that's where those 2 points are going to be coming from for part A. So what was responsible was the transport protein, or excuse me, the potassium proton transport protein. So let's erase this, and I will write out part B for this one. So part B didn't get copied over, so I'll just write it out for you. And for part B, what that is asking, and you probably have it in front of you, is a researcher claims that the K plus / H plus protein causes the vacuole to swell with water. And we had to provide reasoning. So that's what we had to do for part B, all right? So the reasoning, part B is just gonna be worth 1 point, but let's make sure that for part B, you can provide that reasoning. So if you just look at the sheer size of this, if this is the initial, and let's call this picture the final, it definitely gets larger, specifically the vacuole, right? Now for part B, the content needed to know is that water moves to more solutes. AKA stuff, okay? Don't write stuff on your AP exam, but easy way to remember that water always wants to go to where there's more solutes, okay? So if you increase the potassium concentration, those little brackets remind you guys that's concentration. So if they increase the potassium concentration, you're basically causing that solute concentration to water want to go to where there's more potassium ions. So the more potassium ions there are, the more water wants to rush in. All right. So as long as you stated that water goes to where there's more solutes, that would have got you your point. Okay. And you could have even stated that as water rushes in, it makes the vacuole hypotonic. Okay. Because water essentially, it's even showing you here, water rushes in. Water always goes to where there's more solutes. All right. So that's how you would get max points on that one.